lot of the sentiments that were just echoed by Matt are unfortunately very familiar. We have not had any informal negotiations or any conversations since we presented an offer back in March. As far as formal negotiations, that has not gone on for over a year. And I just had a couple talking points that I just wanted to update the committee on. I had spoken previously that we had requested costings from the police contracts and the corrections contracts. I received an email on August the 9th from Chief Deputy Executive Dennis Cohen. In that email, it contained spreadsheets and tables for the police and corrections contracts. My disappointment in this email really was twofold. The first was the amount of time that it took to receive this email. And what was finally sent out, again, our disappointment was in not only the content, but in the presentation. The information was very haphazard, made it very difficult to even understand what it was that they sent. And other sections were just completely illegible. I actually met with the budget director, Dr. Lip, just to get his assistance in trying to understand what was sent out, not only to me, but to the presiding officer of this legislature. What we were able to figure out was it seems that the savings for these contracts were achieved through this new pay scale. In regards to our membership, I feel this is problematic. Our deputy sheriffs are already at a starting salary of $30,000. Now, a lot of the other bargaining units brought their starting salaries down. I think it's already a problem for us to now enter into a new pay scale with such a low starting salary. I think it's going to create, and I believe Chief Sharkey's here, he would echo this sentiment, this is going to create a recruitment and a retention issue for deputy sheriffs. I believe each bargaining unit is unique, and when it comes to negotiations, you can't be so rigid and not allow that. There are circumstances that are unique to your bargaining unit. The things that deputy sheriffs need may not be the same things that correction officers need or AME needs, and I think as part of those negotiations you need to look at that. But unfortunately, negotiations really haven't taken place, and we haven't been able to make any strides towards getting closer to that goal. Again, I want to echo the frustration that Matt Porter just talked about. I have deputy sheriffs that are here. Their job is to provide the safety here at this committee. They are 6 years without a contract, and they are just so disillusioned as to how this has been able to go on for so long. It's beyond unfair.
Right, and I got a copy of that so-called cost guide, and when I looked at it, I thought, what am I looking at? I don't know if you guys received a copy. Oh, I'll be happy to share. But when I looked at it, I thought, well, you know, it was more assumed or anticipated, but was it realized? And from what I understand, is what was in there was not realized. So my assumption is that you could do a contract that with an assumed or anticipated savings, but may not be realized, or should not be. And I think probation should be able to do the same thing. If they want consistency in negotiations, then that's what you could do. And I think it's unrealistic to ask you to go below $30,000. You know, we have other county workers who don't have to wear a gun and put on a bulletproof vest to go to work that are making $30,000 and coming in at a start salary of $30,000. So I think it's unfair and unrealistic to ask people, members of law enforcement, to do that much more or less. So again, I apologize that you're not hearing anything. I know that the presiding officer, you know, I spoke with him yesterday, and I think he's equally disappointed that you are not getting the answers, and that the amount of time, the letter he sent out requesting the information, and not getting the answer, and then when they do get a response back, it's a bunch of hogwash. if you ask me. So, again, we will continue to ask that question. How many times have you met with a county executive since you've started negotiations?
That's easy to answer, 0.
Okay. I can't imagine why he wouldn't. I know that the former county executive, I know, has participated in contract negotiations, or at least been somewhat engaged. So that really is a shame. Again, thank you, John. And I